Hi, for today's teardown, this vintage Akai video camera. It has been in my storage for years. It is in rough condition and it is not working. So I believe it is time for it to go. So it is a very old school one from 1982. Here are the model and the serial numbers for you playing at home. And yes, we still have the original plastic film over this manufacturer plate. So it was a pretty modern model back in the time with automatic aperture, autofocus and automatic white balance written here in French. So what do we have? You can see it is a very bulky construction. We have a big lens with giant autofocus sensor on the top. On the side, extensible microphone with still good foam, by the way. The handle here, which would, I believe, yes, store like this, and you can deploy like this, but not further. On the bottom, the plug for the cable to the recorder. Oddly enough, there is a wire here going to the autofocus sensor. You can disconnect, but the lens itself you cannot remove it from the camera. So why they did not route these wires internally, I have no idea. In particular, because we have something else here interconnecting the two parts. Quite odd. The controls are pretty simple, just aperture controls, white balance, a very noisy zoom, and the interesting thing is this very large viewfinder. So I will connect it to the power supply and we will be able to see what it does exactly. So here is the original link cable to the recorder. I was not sure of the pinout, so how I did figure it out. First I did probe for ground, probe all the pins until I find a ground to the ground chassis of the camera. And then I did probe the other ones until I find one with not very high resistance that will increase with time because of capacitors loading, and surely enough I did find the power how to power it. It is just 12 volts that are needed. So let me hook the power supply. Try not to make a big short circuit on my power supply if possible. Okay. So it should turn on. Yes, very slowly. In fact, it took several seconds. And you can see we just have in here a white screen. I did play with the controls and everything, and nothing else happens at a white screen with two flashing LEDs at the bottom. What I can do else is move the zoom very painfully and slowly. It looks like the autofocus is doing nothing also. It is in auto mode and nothing happens. Maybe in fact it did reset itself to infinity. If I set manual, it will set to infinity and nothing else. So what is the minimum? It is 1.1 meter. Maybe I have to set macro here. And no, nothing else happens. Okay. And still the same thing in the viewfinder, only a white picture. Okay, so it was the last power up of this thing, obviously. So apparently it looks like we have two plastic shells, and this should be an extra part that could be removes quite easily the lamps probably. On this also there is indeed some kind of a bridge here going inside for connection to a microphone maybe. So I will start with it will be a real-time teardown. So this is always the same. These things you have to undo the little screw and slide out like so. This was a loose screw, okay. This I will not bother with it for now. I have to turn it upside down and I guess undo every screw I see. So we can expect in this very old school electronics, all through all, we can expect probably some budge. We can expect a picture tube for sensor, no, probably no CCD. According to the weight, it is almost 3 kilos or something like this. And what else? More screws here. Probably a pretty big CRT for the viewfinder. And very old school Japanese electronics. I guess. It is my guess. So one more screw and I believe we will be able to pop the cover. Yes. Next, yes. So first thing, is there a plug over there? No. We have some kind of light or sensor in this. Nothing in the cover except this clear window. And already a pretty big circuit board assembly. So this, I have no idea of what it is. There is some glue, so obviously it was already repaired. Oh, it is interesting. Yes, must be white balance sensor, because in here we have two filters, blue and red, and the two photodiodes with super glue over them, which is probably not good. So it must be some kind of a very simple white balance system. Interesting. So insulating plastic here. Okay, we can see old school brown niche PCB here with a lot of budge components. I will remove my watch in order not to scratch it. We have this side panel. Yes, just pops out like so. And yes, I was speaking about budge. Here is the first one, obviously. Some diodes. This is a really typical Japanese strip of passives. Usually diodes and resistors all with a side connected together and vertically mounted to a PCB. Very typical to old Japanese electronics. Okay. What to do next? The bottom cover, I guess. But it is still attached. Not sure how or why. It looks like it is this side PCB. Yes. So I have to dig in it. I will remove this screw here. Figuring out on camera how to take apart the stuff is not always easy. Now we are. So I need to unzoom a little bit. So we have this side PCB with the controls. I need to cut this wire. One more plug here. Okay. Old school Texas Instrument. Clip here. Very it is interesting. The switches here actually, the contacts of the switches are directly PCB tracks behind them. So quite a low quality here, obviously. Cost cutting for something which was probably very expensive back in the time. A little potentiometer here, connected quite oddly to the PCB, half with directly soldered, half with wires. Okay, it was the first one. Now we have a view inside actually the viewfinder here. And this is coming in parts. Very easy, in fact, just one connector to the viewfinder. So it should be possible to figure out the pinout and reuse the viewfinder, but probably pretty pointless. Where is my screwdriver? I will remove it from the plastic frame. One more screw here. Okay. It was just powered on, so I will not touch any of the tracks if there is some high voltage, but I believe it is pretty safe. So you can see very old school LEDs here in the front, 3 of them, a little CRT, and a pretty usual setup with a little flyback, deflection coils and everything you need. Okay, this is obviously going to the scrap. We are left with the main assembly. We can see here the main chassis of the camera, obviously in die cast something, aluminium, most probably. Now I believe I can try to undo this assembly with the handle on the microphone. I'll try to do it quick. Okay, so what do we have? We have this, which is not coming because it is interesting. I can see here, just here, an Allen screw which is keeping it in place, but it is totally not clear of how I must proceed to access this Allen screw. Quite interesting. Apart from this, we have a wire harness here, one over here which is already disconnected by the way, but mystery Allen screw. Thankfully there is on the side some grooves, so I can try to reach it like this with pliers, and yes, anyway it is loose almost, and here we are. Okay, it was not too complicated, but probably not the correct way to proceed. here is our handle. So in this part I believe we will have just emptiness on just the microphone, but still we have 2 wires, or probably for the push button here, which is most probably the recording trigger. Okay, we will have a look at this later. Now we are left with the main assembly. It is interesting to see that the screws that attach the lens are actually on the back side here, not on the front side, or maybe because of this assembly here. So I will try to remove this big PCB which is in the way. One screw is just revealed here. Board to board, no, not this time, not board to board, wires, but still I can undo this. So I know it is a little sad to scrap all the camera like this, but I did check on eBay and it is worth nothing. In fact, some people are trying to sell them at a pretty high price, but nobody purchases them actually. So okay, here is our picture tube assembly. Nice stuff on this PCB. So for my own convenience, I believe I will cut the wires anyway. Okay, we have one big Mitsubishi hybrid plate, huge delay line, also from the regular delay line manufacturer, I do not remember the name, and pretty typical Japanese stuff everywhere, bodge on the back. Very old school solder work also. Okay, it was a fast PCB. Now we have this bottom one. So it is not written on the PCB what they do. And I have already parts everywhere. So, one screw here, one screw here. And one more. Connectors. So a box here, probably shielded box for I guess might be DC to DC converter. Where the filterish, hybridish things here. More delay line. And more very old school stuff. Bodge on the back, of course. Lot of bodge, as you can see. Okay. Next, we have some shielding here. Now we have quite good access to the core of the camera. Still one more PCB to undo on this side. Behind this big piece of shielding. And here I do not see any screw for here in the middle. So you can see it is quite close together, this thing. Not really impressed with the manufacturing quality. Wires in all possible directions. Here we have this probably power transistor bolted to the frame for heat sinking, but attached with wires to the PCB. more wires in the way here. And actually this PCB is attached to the frame with two little hinges, but the screws are all at the bottom and almost impossible to reach. So I will end with a terrible pile of stuff to go through to see if there is any good part to reuse, but I do not think. Okay, here we are. Oh, interestingly enough, we have a fuse. Totally impossible to reach without taking everything apart, by the way. Not a very good design, and more strip of passive parts here, as you can see. More hybrid modules. This is probably high voltage power supply for the, yes, going to the tube. And by the way, I did never take this apart before, but you can see the pins on the pickup tube are in quite bad bent condition. And of course, little bugs on the back. Okay, we are left with the main assembly with just a few plugs on them. I will not bother taking them off on camera, but I will try to undo this. As you can see, it is very nice because to undo the zoom lens, I need to undo this plate to access one screw. Totally useless overlong screw here. I hope the lens will come off easily because we need to look inside the autofocus box. So I need to make some space in my storage, so it is why this is going off. Almost interesting. There is some kind of a link here. It is just a grounding cable. Okay. So here is our zone assembly. We have the neutral density filter which can be flipped out of the way. Probably this is the aperture motor. Zoom motor here. On this part we just have the picture pickup tube which is attached with this bracket here, this clamp. And it looks like I saw this screw. Yes, here we are. So nothing left in this of interest. We have little shielded box which is, I guess, the first yes, preamplifier stage. You can see the wire coming out from the... It is broken, by the way, this thing. Maybe it is why we did not have any picture. It is not making a proper contact on the sensitive end of the tube, so it might be an issue. Obviously we have stuff to unscrew on the back, or maybe they are just adjustments. We have screw on the little bolt here, so it could totally explain why the camera was not working. Okay, coming in two parts. So usually your picture tubes will come off from the front side. It is something you need to know. We have little slotted screw here to secure a clamp. This is the deflection coil inside, and I will try to undo with my little screwdriver this front piece. No, it will not come off. Anyway, I need to open everything. Well, anyway, it must be done sooner or later, so why not? I will try not to hurt myself. Okay, some sheet of shielding metal, very sharp edge, you must be careful with this. So we have a brass part here on the back, on the end. We have some piece of cardboard attached with some scotch tape, and this seems pretty tedious to take apart actually, but you can see the deflection coils. The picture tube in here. I will try with a screwdriver to move it a little bit, but yes, it is coming. Okay, here we are. Certicon from Hitachi, model number here, made in Japan of course. It is a monochrome tube, of course, so really. Ah no, excuse me, it is a color video camera actually. Yes, so one picture tube for 3 colors. Seems very simple for 3 colors. I see only one electron gun in this. Interesting how they did do it. And in here I need to take it apart completely to retrieve copper and brass for the scrap yarn. Okay, so lot of parts and stuff everywhere. Let me get rid of them, and we continue. We continue with this autofocus assembly. So it is like on all cameras telemeter setup with 2 lenses, and there is something that will collimate. I do not know if it is the correct word for it, but it will figure out the distance by triangulating, maybe it is the word, and allow to know what is the proper setting on the zoom lens. It was probably not very good. As you can see, we have one PCB and one optical assembly. So this will be interesting to look at. And this, yes, it is an encoder according to the, it is mechanically connected to the focus ring of the lens. So I would love to remove this rear piece here. Almost, but not completely. It will be too easy by the way. Here we are. Testing. So one more little PCB in this. So I would just like to access the whatever sensor we have in this. I can see a motor also, and it is attached to the lens with screws I cannot reach at all for now. Pretty interesting. So I will not probably take it apart completely because it will be too time consuming for you, but try to access the interesting part at least. Okay, we have a whole bunch of wires going in this, and we have a few. I see here a little module here with what seems to be some voltage converter or something like this, with a little coil. Two ICs from Toshiba, it seems. This must be the zoom motor. Yes, it is connected to everything else. We have three pretty impressive slotted head screws here. It is not something you see every day. Even 4, there is one you cannot reach. So I wonder is there for setting the thing, fine tuning the sensor of the motor. No idea. Very old school stuff. So I want to access this. It seems to be a piece of cake, really. My screwdriver here. As you can see, it is not really repair friendly. Overly complicated. Okay, at least this did come off. Back in the times, they did not hesitate to use pieces of brass for structural parts. As you can see, it is not today you could see it anymore. And we have, it looks like we have again 2 slotted screws, so it remains the old school cameras, and it looks like we have, guys, some pretty antique linear CCD sensor. Going to this optical assembly, which I will try to pop open. So it looks like it is made entirely of metal, this thing, the case. There is parts everywhere on my bench, you cannot see. I try to keep them out of the camera frame, but really. Okay, and here is our assembly. Mirror, lens, mirror, probably. In fact, yes, bringing the picture from these 2 windows to these 2 little ones here. Okay, so this is just the regular zoom lens. Macro view for you on this nice assembly, at least. Quite interesting. Okay, so this I will not bother taking it apart on camera. We are left with the microphone piece and handle piece. Here some pretty obvious screws to undo. It is interesting to note that the form is still in good condition on the microphone. It is not every day you see this. Okay, and guess what? Yes, more screws. And this, guys, is really an annoying detail. Look at this. You cannot remove this metal bracket because two other wires are coming inside and two are going outside. Why they did not route the wires here somewhere? I have no idea. Because anyway it is coming almost at the same point inside the camera. Why they did use a different hole for these wires and not make one hole here? Quite interesting detail. Okay, so more screws to do. You cannot imagine the size of my stock of screws I have. It is maybe 20 kilos of screws or something like this. Because I keep everyone from everything I take apart. No, it is totally not hoarding screws. Okay, in this I guess we will just have the button to the, not the correct size, button to the record trigger in fact. Pretty rustic screw here. Two more screws here. And yes, oh yes, it is the locking mechanism. Quite interesting. Very simple, but some good hardware to save, even circlips. Here nothing. This goes to the junk. And here we are left with the microphone, which I will open right now. One loose screw by the way. Okay, it is mounted on some kind of an antenna rod. Yes. The foam is very sticky here. We have, interestingly enough, some the box here, the cage to protect it seems to be made of die-cast aluminum or something like so, and I see a little regular capsule microphone inside, nothing special. And here just a little PCB for the two buttons. Okay, like so. So it is done. I did take everything apart. Now I will have to figure out what to do with this pile of junk. But at least it did a free one spot in my storage. So, thanks for watching, bye bye.